Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 106. Today's date is August 1st, and this is not the second time I've tried to read this script. I am Duds or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Not sleeping.
Besides lack of sleep?
Yeah, I was telling you before the show, I've got 12 hours of sleep in 3 days. So it's been a little rough. It kind of started. So we had that rat problem last summer, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up getting that solved. Well, because our house is literally in the woods, we get a lot of little creatures and stuff that come, and it's usually not that big of a deal. I don't mind it. I love going out into my backyard and seeing deer and rabbits and stuff in the backyard. But rats and snakes are two things I do not like. And it just so happened, walked in the kitchen the other day, and there was a snake in my house.
Ooh, probably after the rats.
Yeah, I went all Samuel L. Jackson, yelling obscenities about getting snakes out of my obscenity house. And, yeah, so that kept me up at night, because it's like, how did a snake get in here?
Yeah, good luck finding where it came from.
Dude, I'm telling you. It freaked me out. I hate snakes. And but yeah, ended up getting it out of the house and everything like that. That was my big thing for the week that kind of drove me crazy. But it just so happened to coincide with me not sleeping. I ended up having a creative block before I wasn't sleeping. So I'm trying to work on an episode, and literally this is going to be a spoiler because there's no way my episode's going to get out before this comes up.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to build a lighthouse, and I don't want it to just be a generic looking lighthouse. I want it to be party or even a little bit fantasy, and I just couldn't ever get the block palette correct. I'm not trying to use the same blocks I've used everywhere because it needs to stand out just a little bit. At the same time, I'm just like, well, this doesn't look right, and that looks like the exact same thing I built over there, and just absolute creative block happening. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna step back for 2 days and just let things kind of work it out, because that's usually what happens with me with the creative block. Just step back for a couple days, come back to it, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
And then the whole non-sleep thing happened. I was just like, oh, this is rough.
You're in a slump.
Yeah.
Get out of your slump.
Yeah, you can hear in my voice that it's not fully there. The not sleeping has a little bit to do with it, but the big thing was I went to Carowinds, which for Carolinians is the big amusement park, like Six Flags or whatever in the region.
Oh, okay.
And basically, so I spent the entire day yelling at the top of my lungs to try to talk to the guy next to me.
Oh.
I'm not a roller coaster screamer. When I ride the roller coaster, I don't scream the entire time, but the park's so small, the roller coasters are literally on top of you. So if you're trying to talk to the guy while you're waiting in line next to you, you kind of got to yell.
Yeah.
So my voice yesterday was just toast.
Plus the music at the theme park.
Yeah, and it was 100 degrees yesterday.
Ooh.
And the big downfall about Carowinds is it's not impressively themed, and it's essentially a giant parking lot with roller coasters. There's a few shaded spots, but there are not many. Basically, I was drowning in sweat by like noon.
You think there'd be some wind being called Carowinds?
You would think, but the only wind I got was standing underneath the coasters.
It's something.
Yeah, but so I had a pretty busy day yesterday, and then between creative blocks and stuff, I haven't done a lot of Minecraft, and that's kind of going to be the theme of this week's episode, is not a lot of Minecraft, because there really isn't a ton of Minecraft stuff happening lately.
Right.
But before we get into that, let's talk some more about non-Minecraft stuff. How'd your week go, Jimbo?
A lot of non-Minecraft. Like, absolutely no Minecraft, because I had no PC.
Yeah.
My PC, I mentioned last week how my hard drive, I'm having trouble getting my data off my hard drive. So I was talking to you and a couple people from the Discord about what to do, and I noticed one of the problems was my hard drive wasn't spinning.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no power getting to it. So while it was running, I'm pulling plugs, I'm putting them in different plugs, just trying to find a better power source for this thing to get moving. I'm thinking, is it my power supply? Is it the hard drive? Maybe it's my motherboard. I don't know. Well, eventually, the computer just doesn't turn on, stops turning on.
Jeez.
And I start freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm tired of dealing with it. Tired of dealing with this. I need the stuff on my hard drive. A bunch of my stuff for my editing is on there. You know, my sound effects, my music, my thumbnail.
And you were like halfway through a video, weren't you?
Yeah, I was probably 8 minutes in, maybe 6 with the editing and stuff.
Not horribly far into an episode, but that's still a good amount of work.
Yeah, there's some parts that I really needed that I'm going to have to cut out and try to explain in my episode, and it's not going to be fun doing that. I had it right where I wanted it, but, I'll have to redo all that. Anyways, I take it to the shop, I let them know, I tell them what's going on, it's not turning on, and if they can, if they can get my hard drive to work, please, I need that data. And they take it, and they're looking at it, they're trying to diagnose what the problem is. The guy there earlier was like, it's probably your motherboard. He did all the testing. Everything seems to be recognized. It's probably the motherboard that's not doing it. The last thing to check was my CPU. Well, the head guy comes in and takes on the project because it's really fishy. Because he tears it down, puts it all back together. They even mentioned I should probably drop off another motherboard if I had one so they can put it in and get my computer back together. And I had a B450 laying around, so I took it in. And they didn't even need it. He took everything apart, put it back together, and everything started running again.
Yep.
That's how they fixed it originally. Now, another main problem I had was trying to get my operating system from my SSD onto my brand new M.2 Samsung card. Or what is it? M.2.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. It wouldn't let me migrate. And you had the same issue at one point.
I had the exact same issue. I didn't fight it, though. I was like, my SSD is good enough. I'll leave it on there.
Right, and that's what I said. But I said if they could, go ahead and do that. And they couldn't. They said there's something wrong with your M.2. We can't migrate your operating system. I was like, what is going on here? Like, how many issues did this computer really have? They did find some like malware in there that they were able to extract, and they gave me a virus, they gave me antivirus software, but they were able to, they did have an M.2 on sale there, and I was able to get that, and they put my operating system over onto that. My computer's running super fast now. I got everything in there that's good to go, but they couldn't get the data off my hard drive, my HDD, and that's the real bummer. So the guy calls me. He was like, there's something wrong with your HDD. It's not getting power. We tried to put power to it, different sources, different computers. It's not working. He goes, I'm sorry, but the only way you would be able to get your data is if we send it to this place and they can recover it for you. And he said, that'd be around $500.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it looks like I'm not going to have any data then. That's fine. I'm not paying $500. I'll start over. I'll it's going to be rough, but I can do it. It's worth $500. Trust me.
Yeah.
To start over. But he goes, there is one more thing I can do. I was like, okay. He goes, I have the same hard drive here because I can take another part from that hard drive and put it onto yours. He goes, but it's a real delicate procedure. I can't get any dust on it. I can't get any oil from my fingers. It cannot be touched whatsoever. Nothing can touch this thing. And if I can do it right, I can get your data back. And I was like, oh my God. He goes, but I need your permission because if it doesn't work, it could damage it and you could lose it forever. My first thought was, hey, it's gone. It's gone already,
Yeah.
Go ahead. So I gave him the go ahead, and he called me back later on and told me it still wasn't working.
Yeah, he ended up just licking it when you left.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I dropped it. It don't work.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I got the computer back. I did lose all that stuff, but the computer's running great. I can actually start recording again, but just like you, I've had creator's block beforehand. And yeah, that's not much Minecraft to talk there. I also had to take my car to the shop and get it fixed. So I've been pretty busy.
Jeez.
This week. Yeah, I had issues with the car. My caliper broke.
Oh.
Brake fluid everywhere. Yeah, so I was able to get it there. And that was pretty expensive fix because Only was my caliper broke. Apparently, my brake pad's been gone for a long time, and my rotor was like in half. He's like, it's probably one of the worst I've ever seen. And I couldn't feel it. There was no grinding. I couldn't understand. So yeah, it was a pretty expensive week fixing the computer and the car.
I'm sure.
Feel better now. Everything's taken care of.
Yeah, I'm hoping this week gets better for myself also. It's just one of those weeks. Everyone has one every once in a while where real life kind of just weighs you down, and it just so happened both me and you had a real rough week.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
I was hoping for some good news,
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, good news is you got your PC back now.
Right. Yeah.
I was starting to get worried because you didn't get your PC back to what, Friday, Saturday?
It was yesterday.
Yeah, I was starting to get worried we might have had to delay the show.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing I mentioned to the guy. I was like, I need to have it by this weekend if you can get it there. I have a friend of mine that we host a podcast and we do it every Sunday. So at least at the latest Sunday morning, I would like to have it. But yeah, they were able to deliver. Even though some things didn't work, I still got it.
Yeah. Well, let's hop into some news, even though there really wasn't a lot of news either.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe it's called Echoing Void, has come out for Dungeons, and it's basically the end update for Dungeons. It looks really cool. They brought Enderlings to Minecraft Dungeons. I think that's what they're calling them. I know that was mentioned as a option or a name change last week.
Yeah.
Those of you who suggested that, there you go. You got some Enderlings in there. The new mobs in Dungeons look really cool. And again, Dungeons is a game me and Jimbo plan to play when we have the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of rough for both of us.
Yeah, I didn't see the name Enderlings. I'm looking at a picture. They are a little different.
There are some different kind of Endermen going on there. Like one of them has broken knees and is like crawling around like that. Another one has a giant mouth. Like 6 eyes is on another one. It looks really good.
Yeah, and that I mentioned last week where are these pearls coming from? Looks like a couple of them have ender eyes on their chest.
Yeah.
I think those are the Enderlings, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
There's a lot of lore in Minecraft Dungeons.
There really is.
I like it.
We have a topic relating to that we're going to cover at some point. So that'll be fun, especially now that we know Mojang's on vacation. So news and tweets and stuff are coming kind of slow. And that's fine. Everyone deserves a vacation, but it makes it a little rough on us to come up with topics. So we might throw some dungeon topics in there. If you guys have ideas for some topics, I was talking to Carl earlier today about trying to get another guest in to fill the void, basically, of news and stuff. So we might try to work something out like that. That is kind of last minute though on Carl. So he's probably listening to this going, oh, jeez.
Probably calling his neighbors. Do you want to be on the show?
Yeah.
We got a slot.
Do you even play Minecraft? You don't play Minecraft? It doesn't get on the show.
Perfect. You're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot better with guests on here, at least getting a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
We have had our opinions out there many times over.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a topic that we haven't talked about already. So if someone else comes on, at least they could put their input in.
Yeah, and that's one of my worst fears is for us to get caught talking about the same thing over and over again.
Mm.
A new perspective would be kind of nice. Other than Dungeons, the only kind of news I have, and it really made me go, yay, this morning was replay mods out.
Yes, that's right.
It is 117.1. So that got me super excited. I thought it was going to be 117, and then you got to wait for 117.1. But nope, it's 117.1. I downloaded it this morning. Tested it out. Everything's working for me. So at least once I get out of my creative block, I'll be able to do proper time lapses again. Because man, using a camera count, that was all the rage when I first started YouTube. But it's so much work compared to Replay Mod.
Yeah, I'm pretty grateful for the Replay Mod. And I've actually been on like a 4-week hiatus this Saturday. Like almost a month. Yeah, about a month.
Man.
So I kind of skipped the whole Replay Mod not having it,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty lucky there. I did sign up for the patron for the Replay Mod. I was able to use it a little bit. And
Yeah.
it is a little different, though. You don't get all the features.
Well, I can tell you, because one of the things that kept me from wanting to do that was there was no start and stop.
Yep, the whole time it recorded.
Yeah, and that's one thing that kind of irritated me. I didn't want to have to log out and then log back in to start a replay or have my replay constantly saving. But the one that came out today, you can start, stop, do everything else.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
The button's a little different on the main menu. It's just a smaller button now.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. It's on the side.
Yeah, so.
Well, that's good news.
But yeah, GG's to the guys at Replay Mod. It's probably my favorite Minecraft mod, if anything. You don't appreciate stuff like that till it's gone, and you have to go back to the old ways.
Yes, it has to be my favorite mod also.
Yeah.
Especially, like I said, if you make content.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking back, so the plateau I built inside the storage room to house the nether portal, that took about 45 minutes for me to do the way I did it with the replay. But with Replay Mod, I would have probably finished that in 12, 15 minutes.
Yeah, easily.
The stop, move a camera, make sure I'm building in the camera angle. And that's not how I build. So it was a little rough, but we'll talk about that some more in the post show.
Yeah. There is one thing I want to mention about the replay mod.
Mm-hmm.
I started figuring something out that made my replay mod footage a lot better. Is instead of I pick a time in the replay and I put my camera through that time, pan it in that time. And then I scrap that and keep that same time, but put my camera somewhere else. So I have 3 different views of the same time. And what I do with the music is I jump back and forth from those different times or those different views, just so I'm not losing any footage. I'm just jumping back and forth. And it actually turns out really cool. I do suggest to do that. It takes a little bit more effort, but turns out really nice.
Yeah, your time lapses have always been more creative than mine. Mine's just trying to get my guy in camera frame while I'm building, because I jump around builds. I don't ever stay in one spot and build.
Mm-hmm. You do.
Yeah, you can see it when I do time lapses. I'm not, okay, I'm going to build this wall now, and then I'm going to build that wall. It's no, I'm building part of this wall, part of that wall. Oh, we're going to throw a bit of a roof on here. Okay, go back to that first part.
Yeah, let me do a corner of this roof.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. But should we go ahead and go to listener comments?
Yeah.
This one's from Kitty Cat 2, and they ask, how would you try to fix emotes? Right now, they're basically not used, so is there anything you think would help them be used more often? Now, it was mentioned in there after I had already put this, and people were like, well, that's only for Bedrock. Me and Jimbo might not be able to talk about it. And that's true. It's Bedrock only. Me and Jimbo have no clue how emotes work, how difficult they are to use actively in game. I can tell you I've wanted emotes in Java for a while now. I think it's a really cool feature for Bedrock that I would love to have in Java. That being said, the F button shuffle and the twerking to say hi is always a good one.
That's our emotes.
Yeah, being able to physically wave is something cool.
Mm-hmm. Jumping means I'm over here.
Yeah.
Crouching means hi.
For the I'm over here, I always just spam rockets now.
That's, yeah.
Because it's like a miniature flare.
Yeah, for rockets, that's a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are Java emotes.
I don't know how they are on Bedrock or how easy they are to use. I would say I would like to be able, if there was in Java, to be able to preset a key. Like maybe my K key does a kicking motion or something like that. Or maybe the H key does the wave or something.
Ooh.
That's how I would want to make it. Allow me to put a hotkey in place of some. I think it uses like a scroll wheel right now in Bedrock. Like you have to press and hold a button, and then you can move the cursor to which emote you want to use. And I'm kind of used to that because if anyone ever played like Battlefield 4 and stuff, that was how the I think they called it the command rows or something like that. That's how that worked. So I was pretty quick at that. Hotkeys are what we need.
I think you're really onto something there. Like how you mentioned this letter can do a wave, this one can do a kick. What if you can create your own emotes, just like a skin, and you can make them move however? It'd be kind of be like a Minimator type of deal.
Yeah.
It might be a little difficult to use, but Java has that capability. Like, there's so many buttons, like on a controller, you'd run out of a button to use the emote.
You speak for yourself.
Yeah, well, except for your massive controller / keyboard / mouse.
Yeah.
I could see that being a thing. Yeah, I don't know how hard it would be to do that. Probably pretty difficult, but yeah, customizable emotes. I would like to see that. Can we have that at Mojang if you're listening?
Emotes in Java would be so cool, even if it was just super simple ones. One that I've always wanted is the sitting emote.
Oh, yeah.
Allow my guy to hit the sitting button, because then you don't really need to worry about building real furniture in the game. Because if you say, hey, this is a chair, and you just hit the sit emote, and you can physically sit on it, then it's a chair.
Yeah, I think there's mods for it, but I think that contains like a chair.
Yeah.
For that kind of mod, you need like a couch or a chair or a stool in the game to be able to sit. But yeah, that'd be a good one. Now this comes like it was mentioned in the Discord about skins also. Customizing skins, and how Java, it's real easy to customize your skins. You could still get your skins on Bedrock also. So maybe you could customize your emote and just upload it to the Windows edition. I think it is how you get it.
Ooh, and think about all the I don't even know what the store is called on Bedrock anymore, but the creators who do like skins and stuff and sell them on the creator, imagine doing emotes that way too.
Yeah, that'd be good. I could see that being a thing. I was real surprised the day you called emotes. You're like, I think emotes are coming. I was like, I don't know, that's kind of too Fortnite-y. That was my first thought. And there it was. It was like a week later. It wasn't very long after. There came emotes. I was like, wow.
I think that was the first thing I called relatively accurately.
And it's not even Java. Like, it was for a whole nother edition.
Yeah, I forgot what brought that to my mind, but I saw something in the way the mechanics was working. I was like, yeah, emotes are coming. Sure enough, they were there.
Yeah.
I want emotes. I don't know if there's going to be many more Java players that are interested in emotes, but I am. I think they're cool.
Yeah, I think if it comes, it'll be a big hit and people will want different ones. So let's face it, it's 2021. We're not all going to have the same emote.
No.
Got to mix it up.
Yeah. We have another listener comment, but I seem to think we answered this before. Now, we've got some live listeners in the show today, so we'll let them let us know if we've answered this question before. But I'll let Jimbo go ahead and read it out.
Yeah, I wrote this down because I didn't remember answering this, but I do remember us answering it at a time. Mangoes ask, what biome in Minecraft is your most favorite, and what biome is your least favorite? Figured this would be a quick one we could answer. Would you like to go?
Yeah, I'll go, because mine have changed over time.
Okay.
Mountain Savanna used to be my absolute favorite. I loved it, mainly because it was very odd terrain and it never rained. So doing YouTube, I never had to worry about if it did rain while recording. So that was a huge thing. Lately, I'm a taiga guy.
Yeah.
Spruce trees and stuff. And when taiga won the biome update, I was angry. I was like, no, taiga's already a used biome. Let's not update it. It's already good. Let's do wait, you didn't talk about it last week? We didn't talk about it last week? Perfect. We're gonna keep going. I wanted Savannah to win that one, but taiga, if you came to me today and say, hey, without thinking about it, you need to do a starter base, pick a biome you're gonna live in, and then figure out some kind of build. Don't pre-build the thing in your head. Taiga is the easiest one for me. I can go into a taiga and I can throw together a build relatively quick that I think would look good.
1 second. The listener that said, wait.
Didn't you talk about this last week?
Didn't
Oh,
you talk
I read it wrong.
You said, wait, you didn't talk about that. So you mix those two up.
I'm tired, man.
But I agree. My favorite is the Mega Taiga.
Mega Taiga is pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the Podzol look with the huge trees around it, and you have the mossy cobble. Yeah, that's my favorite. The least favorite is the snow. And I do remember saying that could have been a week ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and any snowy biome, I don't know. I feel like it's more of a Christmas type of deal. I know that's not, fair to people in like Alaska or Canada or anywhere they live in the snow, but it feels like one time a year, at least for me.
Yeah. So I'm going to read a little bit on camera. So for those who don't know, our milk level patrons get to listen to the show live and talk to us during the show. Generally, we save live chat for pre and post shows. Mm-hmm. But because it's been such a low Minecraft content week, we were like, hey, just start talking in the chat. We'll bring it up in the show and stuff. And Omni's mentioning it might have been the post show we talked about this, but we don't talk about post show topics that were suggested by listeners unless they are patrons, because I don't want to answer a question they asked and them not be able to hear it.
Right.
So, and I don't think this is a patron question. So if we answered it, it should have been on the main show. Oh, that's what it was, Omni. We talked about biomes that aren't used enough.
Yes.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I remember it now. That was the main topic last week. Man.
Yeah, so we were able to still talk about.
Yeah, we can still go in there. And I mean, if I were to go my least favorite, I think I would go Mushroom Islands.
Ooh.
And
that's controversial.
Well, I love them for the fact that it's mob proof.
Right.
But every single person who lives there has to terraform the entire island.
That's true.
So for me, that's saying, I think everyone can agree it's the ugliest looking island.
Yeah. It can look beautiful though with that green grass.
Yeah. Once you get it done, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's a grind. You're right.
Yeah.
No one wants purple grass. It's like fungus.
No, purple grass. All right. Well, thank you for that, Kitty Cat 2 and Mangos. That comment was from our Discord, and that's the only place you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take Cass's word for it.
Is this thing on? I'm Cass, and I'm here to figure out why you have yet to join the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to hang out with other Minecraft enthusiasts and the creators of the show. The link to join the Discord is in the show notes.
Alright, thanks for that, Cass. Speaking of the Discord, it's the only place you can get involved in our Mending Minecraft vote. This week we asked you to choose between one of three biomes for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were Stone Shore, Snowy Tundra, and Jungle.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... Jungle, by a good bit, actually.
Yeah, definitely didn't even bother betting on this one because I knew Jungle was going to win. A lot of people didn't even know about the Stone Shore. They all thought it was kind of new with the mountain update. Nah, Stone Shore been around a while.
Yeah, it's been around. Stone Shore and Snowy Tundra actually tied with 16 votes.
Yep.
And the Jungle had 31. So, congratulations, Jungle.
Live chat freaking out because they didn't realize that we don't actually play the drum rolls or the advertisements. Carl all does that in post show.
I think most of them are like, want to hear the music at the end too when we say bye. No, sorry, no music.
No, we don't get the luxury of decoy music in our version.
It's very catchy, but we don't get to hear it.
It really is.
So, a few things on the jungle I have. A jungle is a lush, temperate biome full of dense vegetation. They are somewhat rare biomes, usually are expansive in size, and usually generate in green biome clusters. Some notable blocks found in the jungle are jungle logs, melons, cocoa beans, and cocoa, and bamboo. There are seven different variations of the jungle, including the regular jungle, jungle hills, modified jungle, jungle edge, modified jungle edge, bamboo jungle, and bamboo jungle hills. Specific mobs found in the jungle are ocelots. I was going to say axolotls. Ocelots, pandas, and parrots. You'll probably find an axolotl in a jungle. The jungle pyramid is a structure that can only generate in the jungle biome, and there are no jungle villages, but if a villager is born in a jungle, it will have a special jungle skin. That's it for the jungle.
So, to start, my parameters for fixing the jungle are I don't want to talk about the jungle pyramid, because that's the structure, and that'll probably show up as something for us to fix in another Mending Minecraft vote.
We may have even done that.
We might have already talked about that one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's one or not, but it's been up there for vote.
I want to say so because I'm looking at Viper's Tune and talking about jungle should have moss. And yeah, I agree. I think I remember saying something where you should be able to find the moss block in a jungle temple.
Yeah, it's a good suggestion.
It makes perfect sense. The big thing is, why no jungle villages, Mojang? I can get a jungle villager, but I can't get a structure. We need to work on that.
They're probably the best skins, too.
They really are. They're very cool looking skins.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have a jungle village, like make it a treehouse jungle village. How cool would that be?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you what it would look like.
That might be a little too much. You'd have villagers falling out of the trees and dying. So that probably wouldn't happen, but it's just an idea.
Yeah, maybe work on the pathfinding before doing that. At least if you're going to put them in the trees. But I could see them maybe like huts, little jungle huts.
Now, the hard thing is jungle has some of the most vegetation, the most what I call quote unquote food items, and then mobs all in its little biome thing. Like it's got so much variation and stuff. Adding onto it was a little bit difficult, but if I were to add a mob, a monkey.
Yeah.
Let's get a monkey in there. That'd be really cool.
If you have monkeys, you must have bananas.
So there's another food source in the game. We have some bananas. Of course, I don't think monkeys in real life actually go for bananas in the wild. I think that's just a movie thing.
Yeah, I probably seen them eat them before. I think I have, but maybe it's...
Yeah, no, they'll eat them, but I don't think like that's what they go for in real life.
Yeah, I noticed some monkeys use sticks to try to collect like termites.
Yeah, and ants.
Yeah, and ants. Let's don't bring in more bugs though. Let's try to keep out the bugs.
Yeah.
Rather than eat the bananas.
Exactly. But I mean, if we're going to talk about bugs, let's talk about combating bugs.
Yeah.
So when it came to add a new plant, now this plant is not really known for being in the jungle. Matter of fact, it's indigenous to where I'm from in the Carolinas, but it's, what do they call it, an endangered species. And that's something I know Mojang tries to bring attention to things, help people learn and stuff. And I thought the Venus flytrap would be a good option.
Yeah.
And all I could think about was leading a spider over it and the spider getting caught in the Venus flytrap.
I was thinking bees, but spiders would be a thing. Now, would it be hostile to people?
That's what I'm not sure, because Venus flytraps will get you if you're not careful. But that being said, like if you tap it in the center, they don't react quickly. They kind of wait a second to make sure that the prey is edible enough or catchable enough to eat. And I know that's one of the things that we were taught young, like don't poke the Venus flytrap because it'll close its mouth looking to eat something.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they won't open back up and they'll end up dying that way.
I didn't know that.
So you don't want to just randomly start poking Venus flytraps. So I don't know if I would want to make them hostile to players. That seems to be going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I'm thinking just anything, like it's a trap.
Yeah.
It's a fly trap. So maybe anything that came across it just like snapped.
Could be. There were a lot of cool plants. Like jungles have some really cool plants in real life. But I wanted something with a bit variation, a bit more color than just green. One of the ones I looked at was called the Angel's Trumpet. I thought that was very cool looking, but I couldn't see a useful purpose to put it in the game other than it being good looking. So
yeah, I would like to see more flying mobs. Now we do have one of the only flying mobs in the jungle. It's the parrot.
I'd call that more gliding than flying.
Yeah, they don't. I guess they don't technically fly. They do just as much as flying as a chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of flying mobs, just not like a bug.
No more bugs.
There's someone yelling in the chat, bees, tropical bees. We already got bees. We don't need any more bees.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But those are good suggestions.
That's all I really had for jungle. Like I said, I thought jungles were already pretty diverse in a lot of different areas. There wasn't a lot to fix in a jungle except for why no villages.
Mm-hmm.
We could really use some of that.
We did just get the pandas. Well, I guess that was a little while ago.
Yeah.
I remember what update that was.
I don't think I've still come across a naturally generated panda yet.
Me neither. It said that they're pretty rare, the jungle in general.
Mm-hmm.
But when you find one, they're pretty large. They're not very common, at least not near spawn.
Yeah.
Not in our worlds, at least.
There's been a couple times where I wanted to build in a jungle, but the closest jungle biome was like 10,000 blocks out. So I just chose not to do that.
Yeah, I think you're looking for jungle, like a jungle cliff.
Yeah, last season I was looking for that, and it was way out there, and I was like, I'm not going to do a Carl and build this massive nether tunnel. But anyways, how about we move into our topic, which is another random thoughts stuff. Most of mine are surrounded about 118 coming up. I don't know about yours, Jimbo.
Mine are just random.
Just random.
Yep.
These always seem to be more fun for me because it's just, oh, that's a random thought, write it down.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to theme an entire topic around it.
Yeah, 2 I had off the top of my head, and 2 of them I was kind of looking around for a post-show topic, and these came about. So these are a couple random thoughts.
Yeah.
So you want me to start? I think I have 1 extra or 2.
You actually have 2 extra, so you go ahead and go.
Yeah, my first thought is that the Wandering Trader should be more rare, but taggable. You find yourself a Wandering Trader. Most of the time they're annoying because they show up in the middle of nowhere and they're always showing up. But what if they showed up like once in a blue moon? Like you never seen these guys and they had really good items and you can actually obtain them. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they needed a llama, one of their llamas around to be able to re-up on their supplies.
Yeah, so you're talking about using a name tag on them, and now they don't despawn.
Yeah, but they need the llama to be able to produce more items that they have in their inventory.
To regenerate the trades.
Yeah, regenerate.
I kind of like that, because right now Wandering Traders are absolutely useless to me. They're filled with a bunch of good items for early game, but I don't have emeralds early game.
Mm-hmm.
They're essentially useless. The best thing they got are leads.
Yeah, and a lot of SMPs, at least, they've been putting in like mob head trades.
Yeah.
They've been putting in different kind of trades for them to be more useful. So they wouldn't have to do that if they had a little more use. As of right now, the most sacred thing you can get from them is like a drip leaf.
Yeah.
And in the next update, drip leaves are going to be fairly common.
Yep.
Yeah, Wandering Traders, they need an upgrade.
Mine is, let's get some cave sounds figured out. So the cave sounds we have now, for me, are way more annoying than they are good, to the point where I've turned the FX volume level for those guys off. I don't hear them anymore. Most of my bases are underground, so I'm constantly hearing stuff like that all the time. And it's just like, ugh. So one of my proposed items where we should have the sounds affected by Y level. So the higher up you are or whatever like that. Because think about it, if you're technically underground in a mountain, cave sounds, it's hard for me to explain. All I know is I hear cave sounds all the time in basically every base I have. And it gets super annoying. And I was thinking light level could also be another. If I go through a cave and light it up, I should no longer hear any more sounds.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Make it maybe more relative to what cave it's in. Like sometimes you hear noises that sound like it could be a mine shaft, but really it's just a cave.
Maybe lush caves have certain sounds and dripstone caves have another sound.
Yeah, like make them so you can distinguish what cave is near you.
Yeah.
Make more sense.
But if I go through and I light everything up, I don't want to hear that anymore because I already figured out there was a cave over there and I lit it up.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Omni's in the chat or whatever, Omni pranked me last season by putting tons and tons of cats around my base. I have friendly creature sounds off. I never knew he did that till I opened a box or whatever and just 100 cats came spewing out of the ground. And it's like, okay, is that it? And he's like, well, they're all around your base. I go, I'm never going to find them. I can't hear them. So it kind of ruined his prank. because it didn't bother me any.
So it pretty much pranked everyone who came to your base.
Exactly.
They got pranked. Because I think I heard him before, and I'm like, does he have a cat in the ground?
Nope, no cats, just an Omni. Yeah, I'd like to be able to turn my volumes up on certain things, but there are some overpowering sounds or overbearing sounds I just get tired of listening to, especially when you're on for multiple hours, multiple days a week, for multiple weeks a year.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Yeah.
So my next one, we've talked about this before. I don't know if it was on the show or off the show, but I feel like amethyst crystals should be broken by water. No more this rigging up an amethyst geode with all these hoppers and pistons and redstone everywhere. It could be very messy.
Yeah.
And if you could just make them broken by water, it would be so much more simpler. I mean, you already have to go out of your way to build one of these things. And I feel like it being broken by water could set the score straight,
Mm-hmm.
Even it out a little bit, even out the score.
Yeah, because at that point, you would just build a room around the things and flood it.
Yep. Flood the room, pick up the drops. I know it makes it a little easier, but man, what they have you doing now, it's kind of like, you almost want to just mine them instead of building all these pistons.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't mind the way it's done now if I could move the cluster block that they grow on.
Yeah.
If I could move that, sure, let's do it that way. But because I can't move that, I'm kind of with you, and I would like an easier way to get these things. Because as of right now, it's pretty annoying. That being said, we're playing on a 116 generator world, not a 117. So us getting any kind of geode material is super pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of way out there in different chunks that we've never been before. I mean,
right.
At least maybe next season there could be one underneath of us or 50 blocks away.
Yeah. I'm fully hoping that I just happen to build on top of a geode and make my life a lot easier, because there are some cool things I want to build using those blocks. But
yeah,
like I wanted to use calcite the other day, and I went, oh, I only have like 3 stacks of this. I better make sure this is what I want to use those blocks on, because I don't want to have to go get more.
If you need some, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some. But yeah, I want to build an amethyst geode farm or amethyst crystal farm next season also, because I'm going to be using a lot of those.
I really want to try to build a shulker farm.
Ooh, you're really going for it.
Those are kind of complicated.
Yeah.
At least a lot of manpower work goes into that. But I think that would be something I'd want to try. I'm just worried that because I don't have a ton of time during the week to do it, that I'd end up having multiple episodes working on just this one little farm. Because visually, they're not big.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of effort. And I would hate to, I want to say, kill my content by doing a farm like that and not be fun to watch. So
yeah, the hard part is just getting that shulker.
Yeah.
Back to the place alive.
We got to get 2.
Yeah, 2 of them.
And if you want better rates, you need like 4, 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it alone if I was you.
Yeah.
You got my number.
Yeah. It seems like a good live stream if we want to get back into live streaming, because I've taken a break from live streaming. I want to get a new time slot down, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have been working on overlays and stuff, just trying to pretty up everything, but yeah, a new time slot sounds really good for live streams.
Yeah, all my stuff's gone, so
You'll be starting from scratch.
Has to be starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Should I tell my next one before you do your last one?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about your next one.
I had this thought. I actually saw a picture of it on Twitter. Should iron blocks rust? Now that we have the copper block, what is it? What's it called? What's it do again?
Weathered?
Yeah, there's a word for it.
Oxidation.
Oxidized. It gets oxidized and turns that green.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe now that we have that, iron block should rust. It only seems fair to the copper block that maybe it could change state as well. I mean, we still have wax. Maybe it has the same features as the copper, and you're adding more blocks to the game. And while we're at it, why not give us stairs and slabs like you do the copper? Not too sure where you would use them. I'm sure people would find a way, but yeah, maybe some rusty iron stairs you could build with.
Mm-hmm.
Just a thought.
I'm scrolling through because originally when I heard someone talk about this, I went, no, I don't want that. Because if you got rusted iron, that just means you're not taking care of something. You don't want that. And then I realized, but it really does work in builds and stuff. So I'm for it now, especially after I saw a tweet. There was an image where someone went ahead and did the textures for rusted iron.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
And it looked really good. Let's see. The big one I'm seeing now is Flame Lord 7. It's not the one I saw, but those textures are pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know which one I saw. I saw it a while ago. I was like, that's pretty neat. And the more I got thinking about it, I was like, yeah, that should probably be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're giving that weathered look to iron now. And not to mention, more blocks to the game.
Yeah, I can't believe I can't find I want to give credit to the person I saw.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to pinpoint exactly who it was. It was a couple weeks, maybe a few weeks ago, I saw this.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the exact one I saw, but I like the idea.
Yeah. I mean, it could get annoying. The only thing I was thinking, is with beacons. You know, you got your beacons. It could rust. It could look cool, though, rusting. Do oxidized copper blocks work on beacons? Because copper blocks work, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think copper blocks work on beacons.
They don't work on the beacons?
I don't think so.
I feel like they should.
It would make sense because it's an ore.
Yeah.
But then again, coal's an ore and it doesn't work on a beacon either.
Yeah, but it's a different one. You know, you get... But it's a...
Can't do lapis beacons either.
No, because you can't smelt lapis. You can't smelt coal.
Yeah.
But iron, gold, copper, you got to smelt it all. There's a raw form.
Mm-hmm.
That's a raw form. So that's why I was thinking it should be used in beacons. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I've never seen an oxidized beacon. So...
Yeah, Viper's Students mentioned you can't smelt diamond, but you can have diamond beacons.
The diamonds are exception?
Always exceptions to the rules, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's a copper beacon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking there is.
Oh, Omni's saying you can smelt diamond ores. See the confusion?
Yeah, but there's no raw diamond.
Yeah, there's no such thing as raw diamond.
Yeah. You know how many diamonds there would be if there's a raw diamond?
Yeah. All right, on to my last one. And that's, how about it's time we update bats? Or get them out of the game. Because bats are pretty annoying.
I agree.
And they don't do anything. Cave update sounds like a great time to finally give an update to the bat.
Right?
Right.
Like if there's any time.
Omni's yelling, not everything needs to do something. Then it needs to get out of my way, Omni. Because bats are annoying.
Yeah, like they haven't even retextured them or anything. Like they're kind of, they kind of just get in the way. There's times where you got to fight things and you hit a bat. You're trying to mine something and you happen to hit a bat. You know, they just kind of get in your way. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe that's their thing. I don't know, but I feel like there could be more use out of them.
No.
We mentioned that one time about, giving them some kind of sonar ability, like, what is it, the spectral arrow type of deal?
Yeah.
Maybe you can make your own spectral arrows.
I don't know. I don't want to come up with a way to fix a bat because I just want them gone. As someone who builds underground a lot and who likes to play with low light levels, bats are so annoying.
Yeah, I'd like to fix them, but...
Nah. Get them out of here.
It'd have to be a cool fix.
It'd have to be a cool fix.
They drop cool heads if you have mob head drops.
If you have mob head drops, they do drop some cool heads.
That's about it. You can be Batman, and that's about the coolest thing you can...
You can't even do that anymore. They fixed it so it's more representative of the texture.
Are they brownish?
Yeah.
Oh, I like the black Bathead.
No more Batman.
What?
Jimbo's like, never mind, kill the bat.
I don't like that. I didn't know that. We'll have to retexture it then.
Retexture the retexture.
Yep. My last one I have here, fairly simple, and I feel like a lot of people would agree, and that is ever since SMPs have started up the season, they've all had, or most of them at least, have had proximity chat.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of it, and I feel like all SMPs should have proximity chat. If you don't have proximity chat, you're doing something wrong.
100%. But I think I've mentioned this multiple times on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I feel SMPs, like, everyone starts out in the same area for a week, and then they move hundreds of blocks away from each other, and then you never run into each other unless there's a group project or something like that. And I hate that. I am extremely excited for what Hermitcraft's doing this season. You look at Impulse, Green, and Mumbo, they are building on top of each other. I have no doubt by the end of the season, that area is going to be laggy as all. But
yeah.
The fact that they're so close to each other with proximity chat is leading to so many cool, fun little snippets in an episode. Like, that's the stuff I've been wanting for years. And it's like, yay. That's why, to me, the first couple episodes of a season are always the best, because you're always seeing interactions between members. And living that close, you're going to see interactions with members all the time now, which is great.
Mm-hmm. And being a content creator, the amount of content you can gain from that.
Yep.
Collaborations be huge.
Yeah. Last season, the Hermits were still relatively close, but not as close as they are this season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, proximity chat is definitely something I want to be pushing for on Ripple Effect. I know there are also a couple other people who want it. So
yeah,
hopefully you'll be seeing that next season on Ripple Effect.
Yeah, I'm going to vote for it. If I got to make an extra count, I'm going to vote for that.
Jimbo Unsliced.
Jimbo Slice 24 joins the chat.
Yeah.
Welcome to the server.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's show. Before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Omni, Chief Big Bear, Croc, Dead Walker, Fragile Rock, O-Beep, Stonefigure, and Viper's Tuna. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you like the show, you can share with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us, or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com, tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer Carl. He helps make sure that show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.